Oh, just listen to those birds and like look at the sky. It looks like art. It looks like a picture that I've just painted. I feel like that's what I want to get out my paints and get creating. How beautiful, like the sky's always inspired my art. And the sky is inspiring. It heals you. La Luna's out and about still with her light, making her presence known. Mercury's now gone direct, and of course, we're here to receive some messages. The birds are chirping. They're chiming on in. Let's get some messages of communication. Hello. Now we're repairing the connection within, and this makes complete sense because the CUBOCTAHEDRon's within here, and this shape you can jitterbug all of our 5 platonic solids and fit them within here, as well as there's a connection to the 13 Archimedean solids, and of course we're going to use all this geometry to shapeshift. But within the Tarot de l'Anew, we were talking about how she has the cord within the 10 of Pentacles, and she's going to repair the connection from within to the earth with that cord, that red string. But she's got to do the job from within. And that's being honored, and they've showed me the sequence to that, and that's where we're going to be going within the future readings here, so stay tuned. But now the 10 of Pentacles is missing within the Tarot de l'Anew, and I want to know why. So we're going to ask the deck. And it's connected to this. It's connected to the shapeshifter. And remember, we need our MERKABAH to always get to where we're going. And that is using the masculine and feminine. Okay, why is the 10 of Pentacles missing? What do we need to know here, Tarot de l'Anew? Why is the 10 of Pentacles missing? Oh, right here. Because it has to do with healing from the dark. What is it connected to? We went through the gates. We went through the gates. We used the key that the Queen of Pentacles had, and we went through the gates. We acted. That's why it's the Wands. And now something happened when we went through the gates. Yep, because it's connected to the 8 of Pentacles. We had an ending to create the 2 of Cups. And this is the masculine having an ending and remembering feminine. We all have masculine within us. Masculine, we have feminine within us. We say this all the time. I feel like we're on repeat. But just a reminder. Now, 2 of Cups. This is happening with self right now. This is like we've created a whole new self, so we're coming out of the clamshell. This is connected to the Death card once again. And the Queen of Cups, what's being offered. And it's all this. It's having an ending to restore connection from within through the 2 of Cups and heal from the other side. Where we had to go in order to come back. And we had to go somewhere deep, deep, deep within. Deep, deep, deep within. Deep, deep, deep within. We had to remove layers upon layers. But this was in order to tell our story. And once again, too, there's a connection to scribing here and the High Priestess. Information to our blueprint in order to restore balance with our karmic scales and create with the CUBOCTAHEDRon. The High Priestess is the one that's helping us to create with the CUBOCTAHEDRon. She knows all the secrets to that. Almost burned this card, guys. There's a flame right here. And literally almost burned this card. Okay. You can see, look, there's a connection to information. There's a connection to knowledge. There's a connection to ancient wisdom, scribing. All the messages that we've been receiving within our last, 8 messages. And it has to do with healing from the ego games, from the manipulation, from what's been distorted, from old earth. why we're leaving. Remember, this fire will be put out, and first of all, the fire is communicating to us. This is part of the unspoken languages, as well as when it's diminished. The smoke will communicate to us. We'll understand something, and something will be birthed through the earth. The Empress and the Four of Pentacles. And now we're on point because this is connected to this future message, because we're shifting through the Four of Pentacles right now. So the feminine is helping us to shift through the earth. We're going to go from the 4 to the 10, and there's a patterning that's being created. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. It's going to take time. Yep, we're giving up control. Control is not allowing us to create with the proper patterning, the proper shape. So we have to give it up. And we have to get back into play. This will help us create the proper patterning, and then we must have patience. Remember, this is connected to the whole cycle of the moon. That's when this will be birthed. Whatever it is that's happening, the full moon promise, this is when it'll be birthed. And let's see what it's connected to. Remember, this is going to connect to our message from this lovely sacred geometry oracle that is present here all the time by Emily. And what a spectacular, spectacular oracle, the Phoenix Gateways. Okay. And now we're going forward to another incredible, the Divine Animals Oracle. We know by Stacy DeMarco. Okay. What's happening here? We're giving up the control to make the proper shapes. Okay, we have got Sea Otter Transformation, Red Fox Strategy, and Tarantula Connection. So we're going to make a transformation and a okay. We're going to have a transformation. We're going to use strategy in order to create connection. This is how we're repairing the connection within. But let's see how. We just need one message. How? And that otter and that fish, there's a connection to that fish, and that fish, we're talking about it in the next message. That fish, that salmon, that fish. Okay, jackal, truth. There is the message. This is a number 44. It's a manifestation number. Truth. Authenticity is important. Live your truth fearlessly. Someone around you is not telling you the truth. Do not fear what you cannot control. We will all leave a legacy, so you should consider what this might be for you. Death is part of life. So now, tomorrow's come, today's here, we are creating with our patterning. What's our legacy now? What do we want to leave here now? How do we want to change things now? How do we want to live in the moment now? How do we want to create the magic and connect to the wonder now and just live like, you know, if tomorrow was here and we did everything we wanted to do tomorrow, today, what would it look like? Because that's where we're at. It's now. The time is now. There are 3 species of jackal, all of which are members of the canine family. The golden jackal, the side-striped jackal, and the black-backed jackal. They are omnivores that are opportunistic both in hunting and scavenging, which is where the reputation for being around graveyards or sites of war comes in, as jackals come for the dead and consume them. And there's our connection to Halloween. Mortality for jackal pups is high, and to protect their babies, a jackal mother will often move her pups to a new den every few weeks. They have to use endurance because they have to travel long distances in hot temperatures without breaks. There's a connection there. The magic. Sometimes we need a big dose of truth in our lives, which is where jackal energy is a positive force. Even when finding out the truth of a situation means pain, it is better to know the truth Angelical energy can be a comfort. Also, you can call upon this energy when others are affected by death. Allow yourself to know that the person who has died has a soul that is being carefully protected and watched over. So here's a connection to healing with our loved ones or losing someone. Like, it's a connection to, once again, too, the unspoken languages. And it's working with that cup. It's like letting go of the past. But we can still use the past. It's like there's an energy there, but we can't stay there. It's like there's a rhythm to it. So it's like we go within the past. We find that connection that is positive. We're not going to stay there. Now we're going to move forth to the present, and we're going to create within the present moment. Yeah, that was a great moment in time. It made me feel some sort of way. I'm going to bring it forth and connect it to now, but I'm in the now. Oh, I'm going to understand that the future exists, and this is creating something for the future, but I'm not going to get lost in the future. I'm going to create in the now, but it is connected to the future, and I understand that. There's a power there. And yeah, is it hard to do? Is it like riding a bike? Yeah, but we're honoring that this is part of the patterning that we came here to create for the collective, and it's like riding a bike. We're going first. We're learning how to ride this bike first, and we're feeding the patterning into the collective so everyone else can do it. They can ride the bike. And our divine inheritance is, it's just part of it. There's all these other parts of it. That's the creation of the Two of Cups. It is a quality for everything. And it's equally honoring all the parts of the mission as the whole as well. This is our multidimensionality. And yeah, like that's why we heard that this song, like this humanity's healing song, the song that we're connecting to, we can only hear bits of it at a time. That was the message under the blue moon. Within there, we can only hear bits of it at a time, this song, because we go mad. And it is because we're learning how to be so multidimensional, but slowing down time and being so patient and just honoring, not feeding off of our impulses. We're just doing so much. And we would go mad if we did it all at the same time. And even we are going mad right now doing it. Hello, Dark Night of the Soul. Hello, how are you feeling today? I don't know about you, but I'm going mad right now. Mamma mia. I've been going mad for years now. Yeah, schizophrenia pops on over right because we have to heal where we've been disconnected. There's a connection here. I was on Facebook and there was somebody that had, I'm a member of Teachings of, and it's my favorite calendar. And somebody had used alcoholism and alcohol to cope throughout their whole entire life, which is a connection to my story. And because of their schizophrenia, and they lost the battle. They committed suicide. And it's just understanding we have to repair these connections from within to without. And many of us, we look at mental illness as whatever, but it's just like we're all mentally ill. And we all need to heal in some sort of way from some sort of something. And we're all suffering, and there's a connection there. We can honor this. It's like, we need to flip the script. You can look at that. It's like you're looking at that person at the bus stop most of the time. You're like thinking, yeah, they got it all together. But you know what? That person's suffering just like you. Now, how are they handling it? That's the difference. Are we all like dominant in our 5 of Wands church, like hurting people, creating destruction? Or are we like hanging back within the high and high priestess, trying to use the energies to heal with to the best of our capabilities, to expand with, to receive knowledge, to act with integrity of the light? Like that's where the choice comes in. That's where the patterning comes in. That's what we came here to honor. It's even too, it's like when things are not going your way and it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to go and drink from that cup. Why shouldn't I watch a whole bunch of porn? Why shouldn't I get all fucking drunk and go, screw a whole bunch of people? Why shouldn't I eat all this chocolate cake and sit here with this bottle of wine and feel sorry for myself? The world's fucked me, so I'm gonna fuck it. It's that attitude. It's the attitude. Now, can you go and have chocolate cake? Yeah, go. But what's your intention? Can you go and do, I don't even know where it just was. But you know what I'm saying, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's your intention. Why are you doing what you're doing? And just because you think no one's watching, the unspoken things around us. No. Okay, moving forward. Gone off on a tangent there. What? Okay, where are we working with here? Woo! Mamma mia. Oh, I was like, oh, it's just Saturn. No. Saturn? The Lord of Karma's come. Probably for me. The maturity that brings caution regarding limits imposed. We have to, this Saturn is our truth. It's our connection to our truth. Of course. It makes complete sense. We're going to be realistic. We're going to be realistic. Guys, love these karma cards. They're so unique. Okay? And we're working with the 9th house. And this is our connection to the 9 of Swords. But it's also the 9th house. This is our connection to our faith. The 3 of Wands. Ooh. I'm going to have to find out why I just said that. Okay. As it is, okay, so this is the connection to the 3 of Wands, our faith. So, this is the philosophies and laws. This is rewriting things of new earth. Things will be activated of our spiritual values, and we're sharing it. And there it is, Mercury. Mercury. And Mercury is connected to our truths. And Jackal. The symbol shows the mental half of the crescent of the soul resting on the circle of spirit that rests on the cross of matter. The cross of matter. It is as if the symbol for Venus, with all its power to love, beautify, desire, and attract, has been crowned with a parabolic reflecting antenna similar to that of La Luna, the moon. The symbol of Mercury suggests the ability to not only focus with pinpoint and accuracy. I better pinpoint that word, baby. And accuracy on the particulars of what is mentally desired, but also to concentrate on and communicate those personal ideas to the universe. And now there it is. This is everything that we've set forth to do, and it's all connected to all the other messages we've received within this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading today. And this is a gift. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Wow. Called the winged messenger in mythology, Mercury represents the mind, which is the energy that enables our egos to receive and transmit facts, ideas, and information. In the solar system, Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, and when its position is plotted against the backdrop of the zodiac in a personal horoscope, Mercury is in either the same sign as our sun or the sign behind it, or one sign ahead. This can be interpreted as symbolic of our mind, which is either involved with our current situation or thinking about our previous one. And this is everything we discuss here, past, present, and future. And we have to be focused within the moment. Another connection here to this reading. And this is everything that we need to do to work with building New Earth. Having an energy that enables our egos to receive and transmit facts, ideas, and information. And a connection to the solar system through the mind. And we don't want our mind to always be jumping ahead to the next or thinking about the previous situation, right? We want to be within the current one. But we're still connected there. By concentrating on a subject one fact at a time, and that's what's happening here, thanks to Mercury, enabling us to make a reasoned connection between ideas and make predictive calculations. involving logical assumptions. And this is it. This is why we saw Mercury within the Lovers card. Because this is how we're going to really unite the masculine and feminine energies and working with them. Through the mind. We're repairing that connection right now. This is happening through the mind. And it's connected to communication. When we become too obsessed with knowing the outcome of a situation ahead of its time, we tend to be prone to nervousness and worry. Mercury rules our hands, sight, and nervous system. So we're going to be working with, healing with all those things at this time. And it's not about criticizing. This is not about reason. This is not about logic. This is about connecting and adapting and moving. We're still going to use logical methods, though, because that's how we're repairing the masculine connection. Right there, with working with the feminine through the mind. There's the communication, because we're going to analyze something. Our mind is going to tell us something. We're going to heal something within our mind. We're going to repair, when we repair this connection within, and we expand from within to without, something's healed with our mind. And it has to do with an awareness. And I want to know what it's connected to. And I'm being called to go here. What's it connected to? Okay. What's this connected to? Yeah. Okay. Love and the synchronicities and signs. So we're healing from schizophrenia. What makes us separate? So we have to believe we're creating totality with the new patterning. This is restoring the connections. But look, it's bit by bit. And this is understanding where to use the masculine and feminine energy together. It's not like we're just building squares and we're just building circles. That's not what we're doing. We're understanding how to use these energies to create the shapes. And we're receiving guidance in order to do this, in order to create this sacred geometry, this patterning. That's connected to our divine blueprint of self. That's connected to the blueprint of creation and this expansion. So we must use our creativity. And it's all about integration. Because we're not going to be the outsider anymore. Here we've integrated. And we've integrated with the creator. That's what we're doing. That's what this is all about. Like, we've leveled up. We understand something here. We've integrated with the creator. Look at this now. We're going to activate with it. We're going to integrate this now. So we're learning this. We're understanding all this. We're creating vector equilibrium. We're shape-shifting from within to without and without to within. And with all this patterning, we're going to activate and integrate it. And this is what we came here to do. We were restoring balance. Remember, it's through the father and mother energies, the sun and the moon. And it has to do with the serpent that eats its own tail that we are healing. We're no longer the serpent that eats its own tail. We've left that karmic loop. We've expanded. We've created with new patterning. We've restored vector equilibrium from within to without. There's a connection here. And it's to unconditional love and expanding with that patterning. Between the previously experienced dualities of life. Rather than night opposing day, dark suppressing light, they work together to create a unified whole, turning endlessly one into another, each containing in its deepest core the seed of the opposite. And that's our connection to the Taurus and how we sustain life here. And we have to say goodbye to what's stagnant. What is toxic? What's creating sickness? What is not allowing us to keep that flowing? Healing from what's dark and suppressing. The eagle is the embodiment of power and aloneness. The swan is the embodiment of space and purity. gently floating and diving upon and within the element of emotions. Entirely content and complete with her perfection and beauty. So we have completed something and now we're moving forth. We are the union of eagle and swan, male and female, fire and water, life and death, the card of integration. It is the symbol of self-creation, new life and mystical union, otherwise known as alchemy. And that's when we master self. Alchemy. Integration. The conflict is in man, unless it is resolved. It cannot be resolved anywhere else. So first we must resolve this with man, and then we can resolve it everywhere else. This is some straight truth talking. The politics is within you. It is between the two parts of the mind. A very small bridge exists. It is a bridge. Oh my goodness. And if this bridge is broken through some accident, through some physiological defect or something else, the person becomes split. The person becomes two people. And the phenomenon of schizophrenia or split personality happens. And there's our connection. Again, another one. My goodness. If the bridge is broken and the bridge is very fragile, then you become two. You behave like two people. In the morning, you're very loving and very beautiful. But by the evening, you're very angry, absolutely different. You don't remember your morning. How can you remember? Another mind was functioning, and the person becomes two people. If the bridge is strengthened so much that the two minds disappear and the two become one, then the integration, then the crystallization arises. And this is crystallization. Is about being nothing more than two minds becoming one. The meeting of male and female within. The meeting of yin and yang. The meeting of left and right. The meeting of logic and illogic. The meeting of Plato and Aristotle. And we've set forward to achieve this, and we're doing this within, and we're going to expand forth now to without. We've integrated with the Creator, and we've connected to Uranus, the energies of New Earth. This is the knowledge that we're seeking. We are an example of, look, we've expanded the connection. Not only repaired the connection, we've expanded it. And there is our connection to the Nine of Swords. That's why I said the Nine of Swords. Because the 8th house is our connection to the Nine of Swords. And this is connected to a life or death issue. This is like a do or die situation. This is like you're going here or you're going there. But you're going, like you just have a clear understanding. You've been put in a, like almost like you've been put in a vice and you're just being squeezed one way. And this has to do with spirit. This has to do with the raising our vibration. This has to do with our truth. Yep, we're ascending. There is our truth. So we have ascension here with the 6 of Swords. We're connecting to Mercury and Aquarius. We're in a time of surrender with the water energies. We know this. This is the alchemy of the cups. This is where we're going to go from the 4 of cups to the 3 of cups because it's connected to the 2 of cups. And it's working with Saturn and Libra to restore balance and heal from our suffering, our 3 of Swords situation. And it's connected to our truths, the King of Swords. We're no longer judgmental. We've healed from judgment. We've healed from the ego games. That's going to keep us lower vibrational. That's going to keep us stuck in other people's truth, stuck without. We need to go within. And now we're going to go within with this activated patterning that is our truths. And it's, of course, connected to air. And we're going to see the light and we're going to expand. And remember, this is about purification. That's why we're purifying from the 4 to the 3 of cups to the 2, but it's connected to the 6. And this is where we're going within this future reading. We're going to break this down. Look, we expand with our light, and it's achieved. From lust to joy. It literally achieved. I love it, baby. From the 5 to the 6. And we move forth expressing love. Love, light, and healing energy sent your way to create today, guys. I look forward to seeing you again soon, where we're going to speak about this message and expand further. Take care, everyone. Mercury. Guys, look in there. There's birds, like right there. I didn't even know. You know, the funny part was is I'm outside and I didn't even know they're right there, and I'm very close and they didn't even move. And then I'm realizing, well, I better refill my bird bath, because you know what? I'm always giving back, and I'm always trying to give back to nature, and my bird bath is right here. And do what I can do, because I live in a metropolis, and there's not a lot of nature. There's not a lot of avenues for nature to go down, so I must be that avenue here. And thank you guys for being a part of it. Thank you guys for supporting what happens and being a part of this community that heals, harmonizes, and raises the vibration. What a gift. Guys, I swear, just last week, it was wind chill of like minus 25, okay? I couldn't even breathe. I was having a heart attack. And then, now this week, look at us. It's my son's in his shorts with the hose. And we're filling up the bird feeder, and we're hanging out outside. The bird feeder. The bird bath, so the birds can have a little bath and have a little drink.